I need a 30 for 30 to show that I'm different like Jordan and Pippen. I need a 30 for 30 like Jalen and Webber. Nobody gon' fuck on my click. I need a 30 for 30. All right, America, I'm very proud and happy to have my brother Stanley Lynn back with me today. He got beef with me. He loves me, but he got beef with me. He texts my phone after watching one of our segments from last week where I told y'all, and me and my brother Tim G. Jacob told y'all, that Tom Brady is the most fortunate quarterback of all time. Yes, the most fortunate quarterback of all time. And my brother Stanley Lynn immediately, I didn't have to send him the segment, America. He watched it. Thankfully, he's one of our regular viewers. We appreciate that. But he watched it and he texted me immediately, I'm a hater. That's what he told me, that I'm a hater. That I hate Tom Brady. So I'm gonna give him the flow and let him explain to me why I am a Brady hater. Go ahead, brother.
All right, welcome. Thank you. Yeah, I was summoned last week by Tim G. Jacobs and Adam Wells, calling me out, calling my name. I didn't have no beef. I even spoke to my man last week. I didn't say anything about it.
That is true.
Matter of fact, he came at me first, thinking that I was going to come at him right off the top. That lets me know he was getting hit all over the place all week about this game. I had some personal shit that I wanted to talk to him about, but he wanted to hit at me about thinking I was going to come at Tom Brady.
No, that's not what I thought. I thought your ass was finna get married again. That's what I thought you were finna tell me. On my kids, that's what I thought you were finna say. When he texts me, I immediately text him back, don't do it.
So I'm thinking to myself, all right, why does he hate Tom Brady so much?
You putting that out there like that.
You all see it, ladies and gentlemen. This man hates him. And I just refer back to the Dave Chappelle, the Nutty Professor. Remember when he was on the stage and he was like, should I get him? Should I get him? I'm about to get him, ladies and gentlemen. And come at Adam Wells for his shit talk last week about Tom Brady, trying to minimize the man for going to his 10th Super Bowl. 10 Super Bowl, more than any other franchise in the NFL. This man is going to 10 Super Bowls. You cannot minimize this man. All right? So it all started, ladies and gentlemen. It started back in 2001. Listen now. Listen now. We was on the bus. Me and Ray was there after a basketball game. And we was asking right before the NFL playoffs started. Everybody was asking, yo, who team you got to go to the playoff, go win it? Everybody had different teams. Buccaneers were hot that year, everything. And this was right after 9/11 and stuff. This is before the playoffs. I got the Patriots. Everybody started laughing. Everybody started pointing and laughing at me like I was a fool. And since then, that man has just been on the road, just winning.
Let me ask a question. Why did you have the Patriots?
Huh?
Why did you take the Patriots? Why did you take the Patriots that year?
I don't really remember why.
I know why.
Why? Go ahead.
Because you were a defensive. You still love defense. This man, that Super Bowl that Tom Brady won, that last one, that was an offensive eyesore. He got a hard on from watching that damn Super Bowl. So when he saw that defense that them Patriots had in 2001, and what he loves that kind of shit. He a football historian too, so he know Belichick was with the Giants and LT and them. He love all that shit, which makes my point.
Give him the flow.
No, but listen now.
Yes, it does.
Listen now. He started off the hate, talking about, man, they should have ran. Talking about Marshawn Lynch. They should have just handed the ball to Marshawn Lynch. And what are you doing? Hold on now. They should have just handed the ball to Marshawn Lynch. They had 8 defensive linemen, 8-man front with 3 people. It was 8-3 defense. They had the correct play call. It just wasn't executed correctly. You never let a man cross your face. What Butler did, the receiver never should have let that man cross his face to come underneath that pick. First off, he lined up wrong, his feet were wrong, and if the play call wasn't the problem, it was just the execution. The players didn't make the plays to win the game. All right, not that one. Then it goes in to talk about the Falcons. All they had to do was run the ball in the second half, and they would have won the game. Listen, man, players win games. What about all those points and all those scoring drive Tom Brady did in that second half in that game to bring him back in it? Does he not get any credit? Does he not get any? Huh?
Yeah, he gets credit for that.
Yeah, but you didn't mention that because the hate was just permeating inside of it. All right, you bring up the 3 interceptions in the second half of the game with Tom Brady against the Packers just last week. You bring that up on it, but you didn't mention anything he did in the first half during that particular segment. You didn't mention anything about what he did in the first half and how he had, and you didn't mention about your boy Rodgers, who you say is the GOAT. You say is the GOAT. Missing guys underneath, running underneath slant passes in the red zone, which would have been a touchdown. Dude run wide open. He didn't make the right read on that play. He had an open lane to run, which you say he has the ability to do, but you want to get up, but Tom Brady doesn't have the ability to do. What good is the ability when you don't use it when it's time to use it to win the game? I'll let you answer that one.
You finished or you done?
No. I got plenty more.
Now I want you to be finished or
done. I'll keep going then. All right, you bring up all these great defenses that Tom Brady had, right? He had only 7 teams without a top 10 defense has won the Super Bowl. That's what he mentioned. 10. Now, I want people to recognize the greatness of Adam Wells, Adam Martinez, Trey Wells. I want people to recognize.
You just butchered my name, by the way.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
But I want you to recognize the greatness of him. This man in 2007 graduated number 1 of his class, right, in Southern Miss. Number 1 out of hundreds and thousands of people. Huh?
It's a setup. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a setup. There, you see it? You see the setup.
He graduated number, and that's you can't beat that. That's greatest. You get nothing but respect for all of that. But top 10 defense out of how many teams? 30, 32 teams, and some of it 25. Some of it you go back to the NFL. So what if somebody say, "Hey man, I graduated top 10 of my class. How many people in your class?" Just 30. It's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. You throw out that stat that means it doesn't mean too much of anything because it's not that big of a deal, not that big of an accomplishment. I don't understand. Tim G, you mentioned this and you went on the rant about Skip Bayless. Why has Skip Bayless made y'all hate Tom Brady so much?
I've been hating. Hold on. Let's get this straight. I've been hating on Tom Brady since.
Also,
all right.
But no, I'm glad you admit it though. I'm just trying to get Adam Wells to admit that you hate him.
I ain't got no phone. Player, but he's got a lot. He's fortunate.
All right. We mentioned you went into the rant about the Ravens defense. You know I hit you offline about that. They didn't play any quarterbacks in the playoffs. You go back and you look at their playoff run that year. They played the Denver Broncos. They played the Denver Broncos the first round.
So now you're besmirching the 2000 Ravens defense, right? Just want to make sure you're doing that.
Yes.
Okay, baby.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm talking about the quarterbacks that they played going to the Super Bowl. Right? Can you name? Huh? You can't name them, right? And then you mentioned.
Can you?
Huh?
What about their quarterback?
Huh?
How good was their quarterback?
He was comparable to all the quarterbacks they played except Steve McNair. I will give him that. But let me finish my point. You also mentioned up the Rams Super Bowl that they the second one that they won with the Patriots with Tom Brady. But what you failed to mention, this is the very same team that they playing in the Super Bowl. They had to beat those guys to get to that Rams game. Do you remember that game? Do we remember how Tom Brady went 13 of 19? Let me say that again, people. 13 of 19 on third downs in that game to get those boys to victory, which is very, 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 very important. And then on your second 7, when you blame the refs, I couldn't believe you. You blame the refs for the loss to the Buccaneers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me put Adam Wells on the couch. This man is a Lakers fan, correct? He's a Lakers fan. He's a Green Bay fan in the NFL and a Lakers fan in the NBA.
Come on, talk about the Sacramento series.
No. Which is totally the opposite, right? You go to Hollywood, you go to all the way to Green Bay, Wisconsin, which is just totally different. You could barely get free agents in the NFL because nobody wants to play there. You had Charles Woodson crying before he wanted to go there because he didn't really. And when you got Reggie White, it was a phenomenal from that standpoint because
Super Bowls with both of those guys, by the way.
What?
Super Bowls with both of those guys.
Correct. You need those players to win games. But you look at the dichotomy. You want to bring up cheating with the Lakers. Somebody explain to me during the Lakers dynasty, how did they get the first overall draft pick and James Worthy in 1982? Somebody has to explain to me how they do that. Then you go back to the Portland series in 2000. Rasheed Wallace, the first game of the playoff, he stares at the referee and gets thrown out of the game. And then you got the game 7 of the series, 39 free throws to 14 to 2 in the fourth quarter when Portland was up by 2. And then don't take me to the Sacramento series in 2002. And then you go all the way when Jerry West, where he still had a connection and an affinity for the Lakers. You trade Kwame Brown for Pau Gasol, highway robbery, and you had no problem with that. But then you're gonna bring up pictures of with a cornerback looking back at the ball, grabbing the shoulder pad, and you wanna be upset about that? Are you lost your mind? How can you sit there and not say anything about all those Lakers cheating, but blame the refs? I am done. The floor is yours.
So the people see you. Just your laptop. Make sure the people see you.
All right, America. Let me make sure y'all see what that was my brother, Stanley Earl Lynn. See, I know his name. He butchered my name earlier in that little tirade that he had. There you go. Y'all see. Put a name on it. Now let me bring some logic back to this show. This great institution we have called Put It On Song. And I'll have some back and forth, okay?
Yes.
Who made that play? When they should have gave that ball to Marshawn. Well, you say they shouldn't have given it to Marshawn. Okay, cool.
It was a correct call, I believe.
Where was Tom Brady when that play was made?
He was sitting on the sideline. It's a game of football.
Like all quarterbacks do, right?
Yes, the game of football.
I know, but you know what motherfuckers be doing? They be giving Tom Brady the credit for that shit. Motherfuckers, folks be like, this man then came and taught the Tampa Bay Buccaneers how to play defense. Like, that man is the one that steams shit up in New England. But it's the ultimate team game. Okay.
Can I respond?
No, hold on. Okay, what you got?
Scottie Pippen was a great player, but he wouldn't have been Scottie Pippen if he didn't play alongside Michael Jordan. We give Michael Jordan credit for bringing his teammates along. We got to give Tom Brady credit for that.
No, hold on. This is where we dip on this. I was gonna hold this because everybody want to compare Mike and Tom Brady. Let's go ahead and end this discussion right now. Michael Jordan was the best player in the National Basketball Association from the 1986-87 season on. Period. Not only the best player on his team, the best player in the whole league. Now, he won his first MVP in 1988, but in 86, 87, that motherfucker went. That's when he had his highest points per game, first team all defense. Absolutely incredible. Did he have the ships yet? No, but he was the best motherfucker on the floor. Tom Brady had 3 Super Bowl titles before he was ever even a damn all-pro quarterback. In 2001, when Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl, Kurt Warner and Brett Favre were viewed as better quarterbacks than Tom Brady because Kurt Warner was first-team All-Pro, Brett Favre was second-team All-Pro. In 2003, when Tom Brady won his second Super Bowl, Peyton Manning was first-team All-Pro, Steve McNair was second-team All-Pro. So they were considered to have better years that year than Tom Brady. In 2004, Peyton Manning, first-team All-Pro, Dante Culpepper was viewed as having a better year than Tom Brady that year. Get your roll on tape. Get your motherfucking roll on tape. That year was viewed as being a better quarterback in that year than Tom Brady. In 2014, when Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers was first team All-Pro, and Tony Romo was viewed as having a better year than Tom Brady. Tom Brady, in his Super Bowl winning years, never made first team All-Pro. So he has never been viewed as the best quarterback in the years that he won the Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl because he was on the best damn team in some of these years. And also in football, the best team don't always win. Like in 2007, since you call me a Tom Brady hater, which is bullshit, I was going for the Patriots. I wanted to see that history. I'm a historian. I love Randy Moss. I wanted him to get the ship. I was enthralled by that shit. I was going for them. That year, he choked. They were averaging 30-some damn points, and they got 14 against them. That year, I was going for him. How am I a hater when he was winning those 2001, 2003, 2004? I respected the Patriots. I always talk about defense. I love how Bill Belichick changes his approach, his game philosophy from game to game, rather than this is my way, I'm gonna stick with it. I like that shit. When I was head coach basketball for 1 year, if you had shooters, I wasn't gonna be in no 2-3 zone. You had shooters, I'm gonna be in like a 3-2 zone or a man-to-man to counter that. If you had bigs, I'm gonna go to the 2-3 zone. And if I see you can't handle the ball, I'm gonna press your motherfucking ass from game to game. So you don't know what's coming from me. That's what Belichick does. I respect it. What I don't respect is how everybody act like this man is Michael Jordan, or I heard Muhammad Ali. He ain't Barry Bonds.
Can I add one more? You know, he the only one that had a preseason this year. He the only one that didn't have no preseason. Y'all know that, right?
What you talking about?
Tom Brady the only one didn't have a preseason.
Oh, yeah. That's another. Yo, they act like he the only one that done been through something this year and stuff like that.
The struggle.
He the only one. Like Skip Bayless say that my Lakers got a Disney World championship, but the NFL, them make it to the NFL Super Bowl without fans. I know he had to come to Green Bay, but ain't like we had real home field advantage. There was barely anybody there, but I ain't tripping because everybody had to play under those circumstances. But my thing is this, like I said with Michael Jordan, he was the best player on his team for all 6 of his championships, best player in the entire league for all 6. Tom Brady unequivocally cannot say that he was he ended up with the best career out of any of his teammates that he ever played with. But you can't say in 2001 Tom Brady was even the best player on the New England Patriots. Can you say that?
No.
Was he the best? But he won the Super Bowl, right?
He was the best quarterback on the New England Patriots.
Oh, of course he was. Ain't number 3 quarterbacks on the damn team.
But that's my argument is My argument is not the best player in the NFL. My argument is the best quarterback in the NFL. I've never said.
Okay, I just showed you he wasn't the best quarterback in NFL in 2001. Kurt Warner and Brett Favre, they would have like, who the fuck is this dude?
Don't matter what he did. He didn't play all the season that year.
You put Kurt Warner, Brett Favre on New England Patriots, they win in that Super Bowl. In 2003, Peyton Manning and Steve McNair was viewed as better than Tom Brady. You put them on the Patriots, they win that Super Bowl.
We can't say that.
You can't argue that. You can argue that you put Tom Brady with my Packers. Let's see what he gonna do. Let's see what he gonna do on my Packers. Now, I know he's away from Bill Belichick, but he stepped into a great defense with hellified more weapons than he's ever had this year. I said before they beat us, they can tell you on this show, I said the fact that they didn't win the division was a lack of accomplishment. I said they should win the Super Bowl. I'm torn on who I'm finna pick tonight because they got the goddamn pass rush to get after Patrick with only 4. They got that. They got a Mike Evans to counter they Tyreek. They got a Gronkowski who motherfuckers calling the GOAT tight end to counter Travis Kelce. He one of the GOATs, supposed to be acting like Tom.
I'm saying he's not playing up to that level anymore.
But part of that is because maybe they in a different system and they ain't doing all that underneath shit and they trying to push it down the field, which that ain't the best of that.
He retired for it. He's banged up.
He retired, but it came out and he admitted he retired because he didn't want to get traded to the Detroit Lions. Come on, he didn't want to play with nobody else.
He's not the same player.
I'm telling you what Rob Gronkowski said. You take that over Rob Gronkowski. He said he retired to get out of getting traded. He wanted to play with nobody but Tom. That's what he said. That ain't from me.
So let me extend it to this. Did you hear the comment Danny Amendola said?
I read it. I didn't hear it.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that?
I will say, like, it is. I do understand because he did bring. That is something that the locker room is very important in football, right? It's very important that I've never heard somebody say a negative word about Tom Brady ever, one of his ex-teammates, and that's hard to do. You got Aaron Rodgers. His own mama don't like him.
Maybe I come from a dysfunctional family. You know that.
Now,
families have beef.
I have a question. So you do feel that Tom Brady is the Patriot way?
I believe he carries it. I don't. I think he was able to be coached. Never had an ego. Never. I'm not saying he never had an ego, but he never crossed the line.
No, I agree with that because I feel like the Patriot way is Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady just bought in. If you have your star player buy in, then everybody else is gonna fall in line. Danny Amendola, him saying that Tom Brady is the Patriot way, I disagree with that.
Tom Brady is more Tim Duncan than Michael Jordan. That's who Tom Brady is.
I'm not comparing Tom Brady to Michael Jordan.
If you calling him the GOAT of his sport, yes, you are.
I said GOAT quarterback. GOAT quarterback. I don't believe he.
But you saying unequivocally he the GOAT. You mad at me because I'm saying he top 5 quarterback instead of the GOAT.
Yeah, just say he's the GOAT. Stop hating.
But you clearly, I'm not hating. I just you can't refute anything I'm saying. You can't refute that in these years he won the Super Bowl, he wasn't even considered the best quarterback in the league. But you telling me he's the greatest of all time?
I know that Michael Jordan was the best player in 1997 when Karl Malone won the MVP. I know he was the best player in 1993 when Charles Barkley won the MVP. Those awards are meaningless.
No, I'm going by all pro. Michael Jordan was first team all pro and first team all defense in those years.
He was the best player in the game in 1993.
I did not. You changing, you moving the goalpost. I didn't tell you who won MVP in these years. I told you who made the all-pro team because all that Pro Bowl is bullshit. MVP oftentimes is bullshit because it's just getting into popularity and all this stuff. Narratives. Braun almost won the MVP last year off a fucking narrative, for instance. This all-pro usually be the real shit. Who's the best of the best at their position? And in all 6 of his Super Bowls, not one time was he considered the best quarterback in the league that year. You can't refute that. You also can't just shit on. I'm telling you, only 7 teams out of 54, only 7 out of 54 have won a Super Bowl without a top 10 defense. And you just gonna say, that don't matter. How the hell can you say that? Why do people say defense win championships in every sport? If you got a great pitching staff, your ass gonna be good. If your Lakers know why we good this year, we got the best defense. We had the best defense last year. The Chicago Bulls were great because their 2 best players were first team all defenders. Bad boys, defense. What we talking about? How you just gonna say defense don't matter all of a sudden? And you are a defender. You wasn't out there running routes and you were hitting motherfuckers at St. Joe. And now you sitting up here shitting on defense for this MAGA motherfucker Tom Brady. What has happened to you?
If that's what it is, MAGA got you upset hating on Tom Brady.
No, it's not, because I ain't see that hat in that damn locker until 2017. But they've been dick sucking him at least since he won that 4th one and got tied with Joe. When he got tied with Joe Montana, they really started deep throwing him hard. They were going balls deep on that motherfucker since he tied with Joe. And then since then, it just got worse and worse and worse. When this is the ultimate, the man had the defensive player of the year on his team last year, and no one knows that because the narrative is Tom Brady had shit with him on that whole team last year. He's the defensive player of the year last year on his team. And not Aaron Donald was the defensive player of the year, not Jalen Ramsey, not one of the Smith brothers from my team, not Bosa.
Not Mac.
It was the cornerback for the New England Patriots, won defensive player of the year, and they had the #1 scoring defense. And no one talks about that because Brady lost. They won a division, but because he lost, it can't be him. Can't be him. It got to be. It's just like with LeBron, which you hate this. See, you don't call me a hater when I get on the LeBron narratives. Like when Efo was threatening to kill Danny Green for missing a 3-pointer because Bron passed it to him, and I say Bron should have taken that shot. You don't say I'm hating when it comes to that.
Listen, I hate the Lakers. I can admit it. I can write me a 19-minute song like R. Kelly about how I hate the Lakers.
No, but you only call it hate. I can criticize anybody but Tom Brady, and I not get called a hater.
Because you are.
Team game.
Not me just saying it's a team game. And
he said that.
No, you ain't saying it.
I'm saying he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
He has flaws in his game. How he the greatest quarterback when he got flaws in his game?
What difference does it make if he got flaws? If like you say, Rodgers, he can run and all this. What difference does it make if you don't use him?
You giving me one down play where Aaron should have run, but you're not giving me the play in the previous playoff game that we won where he scrambled to his right, faked out a goddamn defensive end, then scampered in for the touchdown, and that's to win in a playoff game.
But he
a play that Brady could never make. It mattered in that game. If we lose that game in the divisional round, we don't get to the NFC Championship. What are you talking about?
But if he would have ran in, you would have been in the Super Bowl.
So you're getting on him, criticizing him again for something Tom Brady can't even do.
But he doesn't step up in the big moments.
His defense has given up the most points. Well, excuse me, I ain't gonna be hyperbolic. His defense and his losses have given up way more points than Tom Brady's defense and his losses. Go look up the averages. They just put out a stat about that. Like Aaron Rodgers, like 3rd all time in playoff points. Look at what Brady put up in that last 2018 Super Bowl. What, 10 points and won? I wish we could.
What about the year before? What about the year before?
Year before what? 20.
About when he set Butler?
2016?
When he set Butler?
2017. 2017. What about the year before? How many points did the Patriots give up?
I don't know. How many?
Because Belichick lost the team at halftime. I mean, lost the team before the game started. By sitting Butler.
I got this stat. Okay, here it is. All right, most team points per game and QB's postseason starts all the time. Excuse me, this ain't just losses. This is just in playoff starts. Here's the list. All time. Patrick Mahomes, number 1 at 34. Joe, Jordan-esque. I feel you. But it ain't hating when I tell my brother Joe to pump the brakes on Patrick Mahomes, though. As good as he is, he passed the eye test. Eye test say he better than Brady, better than Rodgers. That's what eye test say. But when I say pump the brakes on him, because he had good defenses in all world skill guys, it ain't hating.
You gotta give it time. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He can be the GOAT, but he needs to accomplish more.
But it's okay for me to say pump the brakes on that, but to say
I believe it. It's true.
Okay. But so you gotta believe what I say for me not to.
Patrick Mahomes can catch Brady. I believe it.
I see it. All right,
but he hasn't caught him yet.
Number 2, Kurt Warner at 29.6 points per game. Troy Aikman at 29.5 points per game, and Aaron Rodgers at 28 points a game. That's what this man is averaging. And his offense is getting 28 points a game in the playoffs. Come on, man. Tom Brady ain't on the list.
All right,
Kaepernick got more points in the playoffs than Brady.
We in the 30s.
Kaepernick
we in the 30s.
Tom Brady is the GOAT quarterback of all time. His resume speaks for itself. There's really no argument. You really can't argue what the man has accomplished. Like you can hate him. He doesn't look the part. He doesn't do things like throw off a platform, do things, huh?
Flaw. Nothing.
Yeah, but Matthew Stafford, he throws off the platform, but you wouldn't put him in this conversation. He throws a better ball. You wouldn't put him in this conversation. I'm gonna steal from Rob Parker. The game is a short menu. Wins and losses. It matters. You win.
Case closed. I just won this because he just quoted Rob Parker, who calls Tom Brady the LOAT.
Yeah, but he's a hypocrite. He says he goes against his own argument.
No, you just quoted him. You quoted
him. Because he goes against his own argument.
Why would you use him then? Why would you use him?
Because it's true.
It's not.
Two things can be true.
It's not true. And like I told Rob Parker on Twitter, I added him because he responded to me like, I told him it might be a short menu, but everybody ain't doing the cooking. And now I said that last year playoff run when the Tennessee Titans were doing what they were doing and their quarterback wasn't doing shit. Their quarterback wasn't doing shit last year. Derrick Henry was literally had that damn franchise on his back. So we not finna act like what's Tannehill. We're not finna act like Tannehill is such a great quarterback because there were 2 playoff wins last year because his defense played great and he got a Hall of Fame running back with his short menu. That some bitch wasn't cooking. Everybody ain't bringing nothing to the table. Everybody ain't bringing a plate up in that motherfucker. Some folks just showing up. When my brother T has some at his house, somebody gonna bring some water. Somebody gonna bring some beans. T gonna have the meat. They gonna cook it up. Somebody gonna bring some pop. Somebody gonna bring something. Some of these quarterbacks don't be bringing shit. Or some of them, for Tom Brady first Super Bowl, all Tom Brady brought was the forks and the spoons and the paper plates. That's what he brought. And the stats show that. Your eye test that year show that in every damn thing. When Aaron Rodgers won his Super Bowl, you like, damn, this motherfucker bad motherfucker. Patrick Mahomes, when he won that first Super Bowl, shit, his first year, you like, damn, this motherfucker bad. Dan Marino, when you first saw him slinging that bitch, you like, oh my God, we ain't never seen that. You don't say that about Tom Brady. If he didn't have all them accomplishments, if his ass was drafted by the Bears or the Chargers, or God forbid, if he was in Detroit, nobody would have that man as a top 5 quarterback.
Go. Subscribe to our daddy's YouTube channel. He's the best. Hit the like button, turn on the notifications.